Uh, What's up? What's up? It's us. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first all-day podcast of the season. A bit impromptu. We thought we'd go live for the first time right after the game on week 1, but then the roster came out and we were like, F it! We're going live, baby. Let's do it!
Turn it on. Turn on the camera.
My man Lofa is here. I'm here. My name's Brett, lifelong Seahawk fan. That's Lofa Tatupu, lifelong Seahawk legend. Lofa, buddy, how the hell are you, first of all?
Man, I'm blessed. I'm grateful.
Good.
I'm excited to get this thing back rolling. Happy to go back and forth with the whole fam. Man, I feel like it's been forever since we got to do this. So I'm doing great, brother.
Nice. Well, you guys that have comments, questions, all that stuff, start loading up the chat. We'll start bringing them in whenever we feel like it. But let's get it started here with the chatter that everybody is here to talk about, Lofa. The whole country, every football fan is up in arms and excited on this very, very special of days. And everybody is here to talk about the engagement of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
I didn't know about that. But congrats.
Confirmed, dude. There's photos and everything. So if you guys got questions about Taylor and Travis, make sure you load those up. That's the only thing we're here to talk about today. No, psych. The 53-man roster is out for our Seattle Seahawks. I think we have graphics we can put up there. But Lofa, I mean, let's put the graphic up. You take it away. Just your thoughts, your reactions, instant reactions to this thing. There they are.
Okay.
There's the offense, at least. Yeah.
So I'm on my phone right now, so this might be a little up close and personal, everybody.
They can't see you. They're looking at a graphic. You're fine.
Looks good.
Oh, man. You got Sam Darnold as your starting quarterback. No surprise there. But you got, let's see, Drew Lock backing him up, Jalen Milroe, of course. The running backs. Let's start here. Zach Charbonnet, Halani, Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
Not who you thought it'd be?
That's just based off what the work that was done in the preseason, you know. Halani, he earned his spot, and keeping 3, and he plays, all core for the special teams, so we call him core 4. But really not like there was a surprise because it wasn't as close as maybe I thought it was, but I'm probably going to butcher his name, but everybody ruined my name my whole life, so it's okay. Is it Cartier? Right?
Cartier, yeah.
Not Cardi B, Cartier.
No, Cartier, yeah.
Okay.
Or go ahead.
I was impressed. The offensive line looked great, and we're opening up holes for all the running backs, but he showed some strength, some balance, contact balance, and some speed, and then he, blasted somebody on a punt or a kickoff, which is, that's important. So just, I think he'll probably get called back for, unless he gets picked up because he reeled off that 60-yarder or whatever and flashed that speed, right? But he'd be a practice squad candidate, but no real surprises there.
Oh man, by the way, shout out. Oh wait, wrong mic. Hold on. Check.
We're still in preseason.
Okay.
I got you.
Preseason mode too. Shout out to the fans for being here, man. They're piling in the comments. I'm just gonna start putting some up here as we keep chatting. How about our Seahawks keeping 2 fullbacks? There's 2 fullbacks on the roster, bro. What year is it?
Yeah. Wind back the clock on that one. If Mosey T was here, he'd be proud. But it's I still don't really classify WrestleMania as a true fullback. They're going to use him split out as a wide receiver, tight end, and so but it's listed as 2 fullbacks. That's kind of what you do. Like it's like when you want to keep, 5 tight ends. You just list one as Well, it's 6. Yeah, because we're gonna call Oots used to be a tight end, right? So
yeah.
So yeah, we got 6 tight ends, but those 2 in particular, super versatile and excited about that.
Yeah, dude, I was excited to see Russell there on the list. That's pretty cool. Moving on to wide receivers, Bobo. Everybody needs more Bobo in their life. Torrey Horton, Cooper Kupp, of course, JSN. Cody White and Derek Young, the other names on there. Wide receiver, big battle, all camp long. I mean, everybody knows what was going on there. I mean, you and I were talking about it just like on the phone and through text and everything throughout the preseason. What do you think of the receivers there?
I love the group. It's going to be an awesome group to watch. And I was a little MVS, Marcus Valdez-Scantling, right? He was acquired in the offseason, signed, and he's a guy that can stretch the field vertically, and really put pressure. And it's hard to run zone against that, right? So
yeah.
Hello, Tyler.
Yeah, just waving at people. Hi.
But that's how impressive, Bobo, that 2 touchdown game, and then Cody White. And if you've been here long, that's all I've been asking for in terms of guys that have earned their opportunity, much in the line of Jermaine Kearse, Doug Baldwin, blocking kicks, doing stuff on special teams. He blocked that one against the Rams, had, 2 big catches in that game. He earned the right to get more opportunities, and he made the most of it this preseason. So I'm really excited about that. 6'3", 227, I think he's listed at. And he's got speed. So that's a monster. Got all the other guys. I mean, we know about JSN. We know about Kupp. We know about – so I'm excited for him and Derek Young too.
Yeah. The tight ends, this is maybe the position group I might be most excited about on offense, other than the offensive line, which looked great all preseason. But the tight ends, Arroyo, this is my guy, dude. This is, I mean, I am in love. I have an absolute full-blown man crush on Arroyo. Watching him play all preseason, he runs fluid and smooth, and he catches the ball with grace. Yeah. I mean, he's like a ballerina out there. But he's powerful also. He's strong. I love this kid. I love him. I love him. I want to use him all the time. Also in the red zone. Let's make sure we definitely go. We've had great tight ends, tall tight ends, Lofa, that we didn't throw the ball, and Seahawks fans complaining for a long time. We got to use this guy, but just in general, for me, very excited about the tight end group. Barner as well, of course. And then, some other guys I don't honestly know, to be too honest. To be flat honest, I'm just in love with Arroyo.
I mean, just taking it back to the fullbacks and tight ends, like really group them together. But Arroyo, this was a pick that me and Brett and I were very excited about just because of what he was doing in college in Miami. And he was a total mismatch, much the way tight ends are, because he's too physical and too big for a lot of these, corners. You're going to put a guy that can really cover, stay with him. He's just going to muscle you. And then he's way too athletic for linebackers, right? There's maybe only a couple that can stay with him. So it's going to be fun, exciting. And then Barner, every time he touches the ball, he just fucks somebody up. And I love that. You guys know that I love that. That's what I'm about. It's about imposing our will and telling them what time it is. So, and so the whole group, right? And then for them to keep 2 extra, that's wild. We're deep. We got a lot of tight ends.
I got a question for you. What's going to go longer? Arroyo's time with the Seahawks or Taylor and Travis's wedding or marriage?
Oh.
Not the wedding. The wedding itself, hopefully, is a normal amount of time. Then they have the reception. But the marriage.
I think they'll be fine, man. Like I wish them well. I do. Like they've been in the spot. I don't know how much more could get thrown at them, right? So I think it's real. And
you think it's real?
Yes. And I know I play linebacker, but I believe in love, Brett. And so I'm hoping them the best. That was a real curveball. I was like, what the hell is he going to
I know you're a man of passion. No, I know you're a man of passion. You're a guy that loves love. And I love that about you. I know that. Offensive line, last position group on the offense here. I mean, this is the group that's been talked about for years, Lofa. This is the group that every 12 and every Seahawks fan knows the team kind of lives and dies, especially on the offensive side of the ball with the offensive line. It's been hit, miss, mostly miss in the past few years, to be flat honest. But they looked great in the preseason, and I hope this group can get it done. Bradford, Cross, Abe Lucas, Olu, Sundell, Gray Zabel. Ever heard of him? Let's see. Josh Jones, some other guys thrown in there. I mean, these are the guys. Sorry, I'm just skipping. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm all over.
It's probably the group we should have started with, just in terms of like how much we needed them, right? And needed Cross and Abe just to be healthy, right? And then the rest of the mix, man. It's you got the first rounder that he looks as good as advertised. Like probably could have. We can look back a couple years from now, and I know it's just preseason, but it's just how quickly he picked up the offense and just seemed very fluid and easy for him. And that's what you want to see out of like a first round investment. Moving people at will, tough, nasty. Like we got to get back to those days, right? And they opened up a lot of holes for these running backs all preseason long. So I anticipate it to be the same, once we get things rolling.
Everybody watching right now, I forgot to ask this at the beginning. I'm sorry, producer Katie. Sorry. Well, you can stay there. You didn't have to go. I interrupted her, but that's my job around here. Can you guys text all your friends and let them know that the All Day Podcast is on right now? Send them the link. Get your comments in here. Get your questions in here. We're just getting it rolling. Katie, there you are. Go ahead.
She's back.
Oh,
you're muted.
I'm here to read those super chats, and we're going to start with Jonathan Smith. I want a great run game, so much shortens playtime, hoping the season will not only control the clock, but also reduce wear and tear on the team.
Ooh, Johnny, chiming in, as always, with just great information, because that's something you have to consider, factor in, that if you're not out there for 80 plays, which sometimes we have been on defense, less injuries happen, right? Less wear and tear, as John's saying. So that's a great observation, my man.
Mm-hmm. Hey, shout out to I was just gonna say that. Shout out to Fun P, because I said, get in here now. Just got here, so shout out. Thanks for joining late. Whether you join late, join early, join on time, doesn't matter to us as long as you're here.
And Johnny Langston in the chat. Welcome back, fellas. Young had his best camp this year. You know how much I like JSN. I think he continues to ascend this year. Looking forward to the season and connecting with you guys.
Johnny Langston.
Mm-hmm.
Always good. Hey, and I want to give Johnny Langston a shout out. I don't know how much weight he's down, but he is svelte, ladies and gentlemen. So
nice.
Yeah, he's taken the approach of just getting better, right? That's what we're trying to do around here. Hopefully one day I have a real studio, so I get just a little better. But I'm proud of you, Johnny, and everybody in the All Day fam.
Congrats, Johnny. Good job.
JSN is, he had a phenomenal year last year. But, so it's hard to imagine it being that much better. But now he will be the focal point. So there's some things he's going to have to, going to go against the best corner, some things like that. But yeah, I can't wait. Just some of the catches that they show in practice, like tracking a ball when he's running, back turn to the quarterback, he's trying to catch up, and then catching it on this side without just fully turning around and turning his head. That's freak of nature type stuff. Like that doesn't happen often, even at the highest level. It's just unbelievable talent that we're talking about. And then I always talk about time and space, right? Him, Horton, man, that's another guy, 5th round. I thought someone would still, even after the injury, go 2nd or 3rd round to get him, because he's always produced, and it's not going to be any different up here. That one he caught against, I think it was the Raiders. There's 3 guys around him. Not one of them touched him.
Horton, for me, this guy's electric. I flat honest, didn't know much about him coming out of the draft, even going into the draft, just because, you said, he's dealing with some injuries and stuff in college. So I had no idea. But the guy's absolutely electric. You can see it in the preseason. He's a playmaker. I think he's going to have a huge season. I think he's a good complement to some of these more possession type guys we got with Cup and JSN would be known as more of possession type guys, I'd say. Horton, he's going to be a highlight reel, I hope.
Absolutely. Yeah. And he's got return capabilities too. So that's, another thing you got to factor in. So that's exciting. But I remember him watching, I think it was a Colorado he played against 2 years ago. He just tore the whole field up, tore it apart, and it's like no one could touch or catch him. And
Yeah.
that's a very good skill to have in the National Football League.
Johnny Langston Horton, here's a who.
Nice. Ooh, might have to make that a T-shirt.
Is JSN ready to go on the outside more? And where were they going to put him now? Yeah, with DK gone and this restructured kind of receiver group, where's JSN play?
He can play anywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like so can Cup, just with the wealth of knowledge that he is. And that's what I'm really excited to see is not so much the stats. I know he's gonna, do a lot of great things catching the ball, and on the field, but in the classroom right now, the things that he is shortening that learning curve for all these kids is what's going to be like Puka Nacua. As phenomenal as he is, I don't think he has his rookie year without Cup and also a veteran like Stafford throwing to him, right? So, and you see how quickly a 5th round pick in Nacua took off as a rookie, like broke records. And so hopefully that the trend is with us now that we have Cup, right?
Yeah. A quick glance at the offense, and we'll get to the defense. Don't worry. In Lofa's opinion, I'm saving the best for last, but we'll get there. Sticking with the offense, though, real quick. To me, I look over this list of names. The oldest Seahawks here, the oldest tenured Seahawks is you got K9, Charbonnet, Cross, right? But then JSN, but a lot of new guys, right? Darnold. Obviously, the wide receivers room is very different. The tight ends and stuff. I mean, a lot of guys looking to make a name this year, looking to become Seahawks household names. Like, K9, we love him. But of this list right here, like, who's going to be the guy when the dust settles, when it's all done? Is it going to be Darnold? I hope so. You hope so. I hope so. Everybody hopes so.
For like just like having like an amazing year.
I'm just saying, like, who's going to really offensively take over and is their team? It's got to be Darnold. It better be.
No, yeah. Well, I feel like the offensive line, when the offense and defensive line are your best, two of your better, groups positionally, it sets the tone for your team, right? Unless you got a Marshawn Lynch, right? Then so yeah, I'll just put anybody out there. But that's what I'm excited to see, because I just remember when we had our run to the Super Bowl, that offensive defensive line, we just studs all over the place. Like, and they ran the team, right?
Yeah.
And when that happens, good things happen. It's kind of like what Campbell always says touts in Detroit about why he's always looking for offense and defensive line. The trenches is where it's won. The game is won in the trenches. And so I feel like it's that group, right? If we're going to go where we want to go, that's who them and the defensive line are going to really lead the charge.
I guess that's what I'm saying is, like, as we look at this list, like, who's going to be the identity? What's going to be the identity? That's been a big conversation in the last few years. If the identity of this team, like you just said, is running the rock, the offensive line just, bulldozing people, road grading for these running backs, like, sign me up. That's a football team that I know and I love and I remember and I want to root for here. So,
and, off of that, that's where Darnold will do his best work, right? He's still, I don't know how old he is, but he's young because he came into the league young. And when you get him on the perimeter in the bootleg, which is a compliment, when you run the zone, the way Kubiak, this is, another area we got to talk about the coaches. The play design and timing of it was, especially in that Kansas City, like that opening drive, my God, that was masterful. And just even the fake orbit motion, and then on the snap, JSN goes back out. Now you have one of the best in the game, especially in space, with nobody around him for like 8 yards. That's how you win a lot of games. And so running the ball, absolutely. K9, we just need him to stay healthy. Him and Sharp's great compliments to each other, because both talented, very different games. Can do it all, though.
Well, and hopefully Darnold doesn't even really have to be the full identity of the team, especially right away. Hopefully they can establish a run, let that be their thing, let him kind of fly under the radar. If he if he wants to, or he could just start the season by lighting it up like he did last year in Minnesota. That'd be sweet too.
I think,
we'll see.
Yeah, I think he's going to air it out, man. Especially
Nice.
these receivers. Like, there is talent across the board on offense, right? Like, and I still other guys that I think are just kind of like sleepers in fantasy or whatever. Horton, I don't know how many catches he's going to get, but he's going to make the most of them. Just trust me there. And then Arroyo, like I could see him becoming a big time target for Donald out the gates.
Nice. Keep putting your comments in there. We're getting to them as fast as we can here, but keep filling it up. People are still kind of talking offense, but we got to switch to defense. There we go. There's the graphic Lofa wants to see. You pick a group there, my friend, and start in. You want linebackers, the line, safeties, cornerbacks? Where do you want to start?
Go D-line. Let's start where it matters.
The defensive line, DeMarcus Lawrence, Mike Morris, shout out to him. Byron Murphy doing his thing, of course. Jaron Reed, who I wish we would have never let him go in the first place. So glad that he's been back for years. And then the big cat, Leo Williams. I mean, that defensive line is absolutely stacked, my friend.
I couldn't say it better myself. There's a bunch of dogs, and they like to kick ass. And that is who I want in front of me if I'm a linebacker.
I don't even have to say anything else.
Yeah, like that sounds like hell for any offensive line to face, right?
Yeah.
And our O-line's good too. And so just going against each other every day in practice, Sundays should take care of themselves, be easy, right?
Mm-hmm. Hey, that viewer number is going up and up and up. Thank you, guys. It seems like a lot of people are getting back from picking up their kids at school and logging on. I was stuck in the car pickup line for like 45 minutes today.
And I was trying to log on for like 45 minutes.
Brutal. And my kids go to school this like dead zone. I got nothing. I'm trying to Instagram and stuff. This thing's like I'm on dial-up. It's ridiculous. It was a pain in the butt. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for jumping on, even if you're late. We're switching. We're on the defensive side of the ball now on the Seahawks roster, which just was finalized and announced today. It was 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern is when it all kind of came out. Let's go linebackers. Derek Hall, Jared Ivey. A lot of people want to hear from you on that. There's been some comments over here. I'm seeing people want to comment from you on him. Ernest Jones, Knight, Mafe, Nwosu. Ever heard of him? Connor O'Toole and Drake Thomas, the one that got cut here, and we love him. We love him to death, but Patty O. Not
O'Connell
there. But the linebackers seem solid, dude. They seem athletic. They seem hungry. They seem ready to make plays. I'm pumped.
Yeah, that's another just stacked room. Like, it's an embarrassment of riches. And like we get to the secondary, it's probably the deepest of the group in terms of talent. But yeah, Patty O, let's start there. I thought he showed enough, especially with how important he's going to be like to special teams. I'd be surprised if some other team doesn't claim him, or I could definitely see him reverting back to practice squad for one more go around, right?
Yeah.
Drake Thomas, phenomenal football player, super instinctive. Just love the way he attacks. Like, that's this whole group, right? Can't say enough about Ernest Jones. Like, my God. And then him and T Knight, our whole defense picked up. I think we went from 28th to 14th in the last right after bye week, 6-7 weeks. So, and then who are the young guys?
Ivy. Yep.
Hey, that is a
Give me
big
some
man.
words.
Well, man, I lost for words because, man, he's just so smooth for such a big dude. 6'6", like 275, and it looks awesome. I'm excited for him. Nothing he can't do. And like, you could use him everywhere, especially when you get to third down and obvious passing situations. You could move him inside, and the games you could run because he's that athletic. And then O'Toole, dude, like tough, strong, and he was like, every time I looked up, he was flashing. And that's I'm sorry, I didn't see the
No, they just said the defensive lines or the D line's going to eat, and I pretty much stopped reading the comment after that because that's true.
It's the truest statement said today.
Yeah. So Ivy, though, going back to him for a second, with that body, the tall guy, obviously big dude. I mean, reminds me of kind of like a Bruce Irvin style linebacker, or who do we kind of compare him to in terms of like Seahawks history, or like how do you see him? You see him being used like that? You said like rushing the passer, but is that kind of what I should be thinking as a Seahawk fan?
I don't know who you could compare him to.
Okay.
I don't think I can't name one that looked like him. 6'6". That's tall.
Bruce is pretty tall now.
Bruce like 6'4", right?
Oh, okay. Well, that's huge next to me. So
we were in the suite. We saw him, and you were like, "Damn, that's Bruce." I was like, "Yeah, he's a monster." Yeah. But we're still talking taller than Bruce, right? Okay, and not the athlete that Bruce is. Like Bruce is one of the greatest athletes I've ever seen. Because Bruce 6'4", he probably weighed anywhere from 250 to 260, with very little body fat, like freak of nature type shit, like beast. So, and he was a 4'4" guy. Like it's so rare. So I don't know what Ivy ran, but he plays fast, right? And like that's all that matters. It tells me he's got a high processor up here too, and he's instinctual and thinking the game ahead of time. When you're able to dissect, and because when you're that close to the line of scrimmage or on the line of scrimmage, that shit goes a million miles an hour. And but yeah, you could use him anywhere. So I'm still trying to think across the league or historically, even recently, when we've seen another guy 6'6", almost 280 pounds that got some shit to him.
Yeah.
Anybody in the comments? Can you guys help us out?
And you could even fake the blitz with him dropping back. He's 6'6". He bat anything out of the air.
Yeah.
You don't even need a secondary.
Matumbo you.
Dude's huge. Speaking of the second, Katie, go ahead.
Mega Delta Force. I was counting on K-Mac to overtake Sharbs and eventually take K9's spot when he moves on, but he got injured. Very sad. Go JSN. Still looking for a black Tatupu jersey, LOL. You guys are awesome.
Nice. Black Tatupu jersey, you might have to eBay that thing. I don't know. I'll try to look on the side. Try to help you.
Those are rare.
Not sure. You have any of those in your garage? You have a box laying around?
I have none of my jerseys.
No?
I think Rach might have kept 2 for the kids. So, but I think one's a regular season and one's a Pro Bowl. So whoever turns out to be the better kid gets the Pro Bowl, obviously. But yes, Mega Delta Force, happy to see you, brother, as always. Yeah. And it's unfortunate with Kenny Mack, special player right there, and especially with what this O-line's about to do, that combination of all 3 of them would have been insane. But I hope he has a speedy recovery, and he was still so fast that he'll be fine even after injury.
So continuing to work our way backwards in the defense here from the ball. Let's go cornerbacks.
Manilow. I was your first jersey. I appreciate you.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see it. I was on the –
yeah. Okay.
There it is. Okay. Shaquille Griffin. Speaking of what year is it? Shaquille Griffin making the squad. How about that? And looking good doing it too, by the way. Welcome back. Josh Jobe, Nehemiah Pritchett, Devin Witherspoon. I was anyone surprised to see him make the squad? And then Reek Woolen. Just talent, and more talent everywhere. I cannot wait to see how they're going to use these guys.
Yeah, and all of them can do everything. And so that's the beauty of it. It's even if anybody, God forbid, misses time like a week or two, the next man up is just as awesome. Spoon, still my favorite player on this defense, just because of the way he plays, the intensity, tenacity, and his speed and awareness, doing everything. And it's hard. It's hard for a middle linebacker to say a corner or a DB is their favorite player, but he still is. I'm waiting. I think Ernest Jones is right there, knocking on the door, getting ready to kick it down. If he has another year like last year, it might have to switch.
Well, I think when you talk about identity, Spoon is, and I think can be and will be and probably is the just like identity, hopefully, of this defense with just the way he plays, but then the way he was on the sideline too, especially all preseason, just like having fun, huge smile, first one out on the field as a vet to congratulate young guys and things like that. I mean, just absolute leader, not that he hasn't been in the past, but I just think there was moving pieces his first few years in the league, coaches in and out, players in and out. Hopefully we can solidify a lot of things. And I think his personality, the way he plays, the joy that he brings to the way he plays the game, I think will just kind of permeate hopefully with the rest of the defense. And I mean, it will remind us of that other defense that we saw in the glory days not so long ago when they were just balling out, having fun doing it,
Man, it was a race to the ball watching the Legion of Boom. Like it was must-see TV for any of the youngsters out there. You go back and watch those years. I mean, total annihilation. It was it was amazing.
Safeties, D'Anthony Bell, Kobe Bryant, Nick, Eamon, Worry, Julian Love, and Ty Okada. I mean, E-Man. Dude, the defense. I'm just pumped. I'm pumped to watch them be unleashed upon the rest of the NFC West and upon the rest of this league. Because I feel like in the preseason, we barely got any of them. We barely got any starters in general on both sides of the ball, probably. But I just feel like they're like the defense is like this caged beast that's just waiting for week one. And I just hope they just get let loose and spill the Niners blood just all over the league. And I think it's going to be awesome.
There will be blood. It's just absolutely stacked. Like top to bottom. I know some tough decisions were made, right? But when you're this deep at all the positions, what's really fun and really cool? You got guys running down on kickoff that they want in on the action. Like I remember, just go back to those years we were just talking about when before he was starting, Cam Chancellor's running down on kickoff. Do you know how scary that was for most people? Dude, the conversations that are had in those coaching. Well, who the fuck's gonna block that guy? I mean, we're gonna have to put two there. Hopefully, he doesn't kill them, and then our returner, right? So, Earl was running down on kickoff.
Earl, yeah. I started laughing because one, you always say to me, "Do you know?" And then you see this crazy NFL football thing. That first of all, I'm like, no, I have no idea what that's like. I never will. But also and then I started laughing because I was thinking about those days when Earl was Sherm was returning punts.
Yeah. I mean, Brandon Brown was running down.
Yeah.
Destroying. I mean, it was insane, right? And then when those guys, just a year, because that's how good they were, a year or two later, are the number one defense 4 years in a row. The guys that came up after, dude, Jay Lane, unbelievable talent. There's every single room. Walt Thurman, he was with that group, and then it was hard to get on that field, right? And so he leaves the free agency and just dominates as a starter at two other stops, man. It was just that's what we're back. I don't want to say we're not there, but we're getting close to that kind of talent all over the field.
Man, we're such homers. We haven't even had week one yet. It's just the roster announcement, and we're going all the way. Look at this. But how can you not be excited? Hey, everybody's undefeated right now. Hope springs eternal. How can you not be pumped?
Exactly. I mean, just think about for a second. 10-7, McDonald's first year, which I thought was insane, right?
Yeah.
He put his roster together. His coaching roster together the latest because he was the last hire. Several of the coaches came from college, right? So they had to make an adjustment. And then to go 10-7 and just be right there. And I know when I met him, it pissed him off. I was like, dude, 10-7 as a rookie head coach, my God. He was just not bad. And I was like, I just had to tap him on the shoulder and say, I know, but this is why you're going to be one of the greatest because 10-7. For the first time ever doing something wasn't good enough for you, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't good enough. And even if he did win a couple more, go 12-5, he would have thought like a true competitor. We could have been 13 wins, could have been 14 wins, and that's essentially how the top competitors think. It's like it doesn't matter how good. It's never good enough. I'm never satisfied. Like
it's like you grabbed a hold of him like Marshawn grabbed a hold of his shoulders. Remember, Marshawn was like calming him down. Remember that first game? Like, come on, man.
Oh yeah.
Remember that moment? But I like a guy who's just, not taking it too lightly. How about just the moves, the transactions, some people we didn't keep, names we didn't keep that might be surprises to you. I saw
that.
But here's the comment there for Peely, Johanna. Just your reaction to those guys not making the list.
Studs, right? And someone's definitely going to pick them up. But there's just not enough spots, and that's how good this roster is. And it's unfortunate, but that's why I always tell, like, I'd expect even O'Connell to get picked up after all the film he's had last preseason, this preseason, to get an opportunity somewhere else. And then, never know, could always come back around, like our guy Shaq, and several other guys did too. So like I said, tough decisions. I couldn't imagine being in there and being John and sitting there and just watching the film and, okay, that guy just kicked a lot of ass, and so did he, and so did he. So it's like, but we can't keep them all. Like, so if there's practice squad eligibility, several of these guys will be signed before they go grab somebody else. You'd have to be really special somewhere else for us to, go and put, get a spot. Because this is, they got to 53, but it's still not the official roster. There could be another move or two. I don't know. I don't see how. I don't see how, unless there's a trade made at some position. But I don't see one position where we have not a glaring weakness, but where we're like, we could use another guy or two in that room. I don't see it.
Did you know there's another Kobe Bryant out there? Were you aware of this?
I'm sure there's more than two.
I believe there was a guy that Atlanta let go named Kobe Bryant, also spelled COBEE, and then Bryant. I just think we got to go pick him up just so we can get two Kobe Bryants on the team.
Kobe.
I'm into that weird stuff like that. So let's go get that guy. I don't even know if he's any good, but we should grab him. Somebody wants you to suit up.
Man, no. And now
spontaneous
combust.
That makes me actually. What is it like for you on these days, being the guy? I mean, because obviously back in the day on these days was a lot different. Now, do you even think about it, or you just kind of glance at your phone and go, I kind of like that thing. I don't have to worry about it. I'm just relaxing, enjoying my day here.
I mean, I'm still an absolute football psycho and junkie, so I still keep up with it and watch it. But watch the preseason just to see the scout in me that always like evaluating the talent and finding out who's going to be the next guy. Like I was talking about Cody White. I was talking about a couple other players from around the league, right? Ollie Gordon, I was talking about him since he was in high school in Texas. And I was like, I've never seen a high school kid this far developed, like not just from a physical standpoint, but in speed. It was just how quickly he made his decisions, navigating time and space. Like it was just brilliant. And then now he's a 5th rounder. He led the NCAA in rushing just the year prior at Oklahoma State, but he's in Miami and he looked every bit the part that he did 6-7 years ago when I was watching him play high school. I felt bad for the poor kids that had to face him. And so now just to see him do it, Scatabo looked great. We talked about him, when he was at ASU, right? There was several guys that, that we've mentioned that are going to be big names coming up for many years to come.
We cannot finish without mentioning the specialists. You got Chris Stoll. I'm imagining he's the long snapper because
we're fucking stacked over there too.
Jason Myers kicks field goals. I know that. And Michael Dixon does nothing but boom punts. And those are your specialists there to round out the depth chart.
I mean, just some Pro Bowlers, right?
Just some Pro Bowlers, just some of the best to possibly ever do it. I still got to say, I got to give it to Johnny Ryan, all-time Seahawks punter, just because of the Packers playoff game and some other moments that he had despite his punting prowess. But Michael Dixon, a legend in his own time in the league so far. The most tatted up punter in the league, I'd say, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, legend, capital L-E-G.
Oh, speaking of tatted up, what is this? We got a comment here. Tell the tattoo story, Lofa. The O lineman that gave you the gears. What does that mean?
I don't know. Hopefully should we just bring them on? They could tell me.
Yeah, we need more context there.
Yeah,
that comment was. Yeah, man. What about, other guys, any other thing that sticks out at you, guys that didn't make it, guys that other teams might have let go of? Have you seen any other headlines, people you might want to bring in, things like that?
Around the league?
Yeah. I'm trying to look.
Only thing that, Shador, I thought he played well. And then he had the one game where, he was not in with the normal crew that you practice with for the most part, right? Because they were all taking Flacco, old man Flacco was sitting out because, he's starting. I don't know. You could have been 100% completion if you're Gabriel or Shador. And, you're still, I would hope you're not going to roll a rookie out there when the real bullets start whizzing, man. Because, a lot of people, it's changed. Some teams didn't play their starters at all, right? And every coach is different philosophy. But Shador looked great when he was that first game, and just great poise in the pocket. And then the 4 or 5 sacks he took in the last one, it was more because even when he had time, it's this isn't college anymore. This is something that Caleb, who had a phenomenal rookie season, he went through even as the first overall pick. Was you're used to extending plays with your legs and buying time, but dude, there's dogs just hunting you every play, and then there's another one right after that, and it's not like college anymore. That's something I think you got to learn the hard way, because in your mind you're like, no, I got plenty of time, I can evade this guy, and then I'm going to do this, and then all of a sudden now these guys are a lot faster and they know where they're going. Good luck.
Some other transactions from today by the Seahawks. If you're just joining us, thanks for being here. We're talking about the roster. Here's some other transactions. We traded Michael Jarrell to Atlanta, maybe for Kobe Bryant. I don't know, word on that yet. No, we traded him to Atlanta. Let's see some other names here. Marquez.
MVS.
Yeah. Did not make the squad. Some other names. Jarek Reed, the second.
Did.
Not on.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That kid, I think, what was he, 5th, 6th round? But he got some shit to him, man. He got grit. He got toughness, and then he tore his ACL, I think, and that's why he missed. But I wouldn't be surprised to see him somewhere else. He'll just keep going. He's a dog.
Now the Peely thing, we talked about it a second ago, but the nose tackle, I see a lot of comments here talking about the nose tackle position. We don't have a nose tackle. What happened to Peely? How come we didn't keep him? There was also another nose tackle we let go of named Bubba Thomas. If you're going to be a nose tackle, your name might as well be Bubba Thomas. But
solid.
What about it? Are we thin at nose tackle, or Byron Murphy and the guys going to be able to get it done?
Oh, we'll be fine. I think Mikey Mack doesn't have a plan, ladies and gentlemen. Pump the brakes. It's not time to panic. I'm not worried about that at all.
All right. Well, then, if you're not worried about it, neither am I. Oh, Jonathan Hankins also. That's another nose tackle we had last year.
Yeah. Big Hanks didn't make it? Wait,
he's on reserve non-football injury.
Yeah. So we could bring him back.
We could bring him back.
Yeah. See? Look. I totally forgot. That's how stacked we are.
What are you guys worried about?
I forgot. Because we're that stacked.
We're so stacked, dude. We're so stacked. We got so many linemen, we forgot about linemen that we have.
Yeah. Do you want a lineman? We can give you one.
Now's the time to just really open it up for you guys in the comment section. There's 252 people in here, so
nice.
It's a few hours to answer all those questions. But every single one of you, if you've got questions, make sure you put it into the super chat. Producer Katie, is well, I can see her backstage. She's away from her chair, but I promise she'll come running back as soon as you put in a super chat if you've got any questions for us about anything. I mean, how about the preseason in general? Because we didn't do weekly shows. The Seahawks finished the preseason, what, 1 win, 1 tie, 1 loss?
1-1-1, huh?
A little bit of everything. But just in general, I think you guys watching can tell I'm completely enthused, very excited about this season. But what did you think about all 3 preseason games in general?
So Raiders, good effort, everything. Looked like a pretty clean operation. Not too much to really talk about there. You go to Kansas City, though. That was just an all-out ass kicking. And I don't care if it wasn't like our starters, they play like 1 series or 1 drive, right, on offense. Some starters didn't play on defense. So it's like it wasn't because, I know some people were saying, well, they didn't have any of the starters out there or whatever. Just that's an Andy Reid coach team. And that is a well-coached team. Like, he's one of the greatest coaches of all time. And he prides himself on discipline and everything. And so just because he came from Mike Holmgren, right? And so to get those kind of results, across the board for 4 quarters, that was impressive. And and I think that's more indicative of what the season's going to be like. And then the last one, another coach I got a lot of respect for, LaFleur. Like, the pack's going to be good, ladies and gentlemen. Got a feeling we might see them, come playoff time, because we're definitely going to the playoffs, right? Mm-hmm. And I know they have a strong division, but it was the strongest last year. But man, they look good.
Yeah, I think we had a very strong preseason. I think obviously the record doesn't matter, but I think the cool thing, if there is something cool about a preseason record, is that, it leaves you wanting more as a player and as a fan. I think they're hungry. I think I can't wait to see, like you're saying, like McDonald and the whole staff having the time that they've had there now. This is fully their system now at this point. I mean, with adding Kubiak, God, the offense, man, the offense, if they can get that defense rolling. Because I think the defense is going to hopefully just be taking that step and just shutting people down and hopefully scoring points on their own. I'm not even really sure what the defense has to do other than get some first downs and score, 18 points a game?
I mean, yeah. They finished, trending upward last year, and then they got more help, which is scary to think for our opponents. But if I could really say one thing I'd like more is turnovers. Because, we're getting pressure, we're getting sacks, but that turnovers, they just impact the game so much. And we've talked about it here. Third down on offense is protecting the ball, and how many third downs can you convert to keep the chains moving and get opportunities to score. And on defense, you got to stop the run, eliminate the big play, and then get the ball back to give the offense more opportunities. So that'll really separate you. And I think it was Jonathan Smith that mentioned it'll provide less time on the field for you. You'll just get that ball back and like lopsided victories. But I don't think it's far-fetched to think this defense won't be – it's got top 5 written all over it. Like, I know anything higher than what we finished at 14 is an improvement, but the way they were just coming together at the end of that year, and then now a whole nother year off-season together with some more pieces, got to be awesome.
Yeah, to me on paper, this just feels like turn back the clock time for, in a lot of ways. You got 2 fullbacks on the roster. What more do you need to know? They want to run the ball. And I'm telling you, as a Seahawks fan for my entire life, and this always happens to us, they say they're going to run the ball. They tell us they want to run the ball. They say that's our whole focus. We're going to go out and get all the offensive linemen. We're going to run the ball, and we're going to play defense. And then what do? They come in every year, and they throw. It's
like a record for attempts and passing.
I don't think they brought in Oots to get, 10 passes a game is all I'm saying. So let's run the damn ball and let's play some defense.
Yeah. To draft a 5th round fullback that would be an evil joke. And impressive if the pass works. If you're gonna do it, hey, then we're just gonna play action the shit out of people with a 280-pound, anvil running at you. Okay, sign me up for that too.
Hey, my man was catching passes all preseason. They gave him at least 1 or 2 a game.
He's an athlete.
Yeah.
And 280 pounds. Good luck stopping that.
What was the one guy? Did we have a guy they call like the runaway beer truck or something like that? Or like there was a fullback, had the nickname.
Oh, Will Tukuafu?
Was it?
Is that his nickname? I don't know. Will had him. He was a D tackle at the end most of his life. So he was converted fullback.
There's some old fullback that had like a nickname like that. That's what this guy reminds me of. It's just like running downhill, huge dude. Who wants to get in the way?
What did you at the time? Okay, first of all, you have to get through 280, 90-pound Will, and then you got to see Marshawn. Yeah.
Can I imagine? No, I cannot.
Is that good?
Oh man, he needs to. He's got to wear the neck roll though, boots. We got to get him the like cowboy collar or something.
Unless he doesn't have a neck. If he doesn't have a neck, it's like a built-in neck roll.
Is that your pitch for your support group, guys without necks?
This is why I wear V-necks and tank tops, ladies and gentlemen. So it appears that I have a neck, but I actually really don't. So it's all an optical illusion.
Yeah. I'm excited for here we go. Katie is actually steps away from her computer, so I'll take it.
We lost Katie.
Alberto, thank you for being here, man. Thanks for joining the show. Alberto says, I saw a short on YouTube where a dude talked about the process of getting cut and how that affects your mental health. What are your thoughts on how that affects players?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, no one likes getting fired, and like that's essentially what's happening. But it's more personal, I guess, because like this is everything we've given our life to in terms of the craft, right? We all dreamed. I don't know where it started for everybody else, but since I was 5, I was running around telling everybody I'm going to play in the NFL. And so when that day comes, it's tough, right? It's doesn't matter how long you played or what. You're not prepared. I don't care what anyone says. At least I wasn't. And it happens, and it's just like, okay, well, if you want to still keep playing, you try to do that. But I feel for like the young guys, because I don't know, like mentally for me, I always thought I was good enough, right? Like I didn't entertain the thought of ever being cut. I know that probably sounds weird to hear and very arrogant.
I think it's the mentality you have.
Okay.
No, that sounds totally understandable.
You walk around, you think you're the baddest motherfucker. I don't care if I was the smallest and the slowest. It was like kind of how I was like, I know what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. And it's just a matter of time. And so I never felt pressure, whether it was college, NFL, and I love the bigger moments. But, when the time comes, you kind of feel for the kids that it could be their only chance, right? But that's where I always look at like some of those stories that are so amazing that like, okay, like Kurt Warner, right? Cut, went to another league, bounced around, arena league, bounced around, gets a call. He was stocking shelves. This is a guy that never gave up hope and belief and the love of the game, because I think that's where it could really go kind of south for some of us and my brothers is like, they don't love the game anymore. And if you don't love the game, it's really time to get out. Like, but yeah, great question, man. And I hope I answered that, somewhat correctly.
Yeah, I mean, again, I can't imagine and have no idea what it means in terms of the NFL. But in acting, I was lucky enough to guest star on a show one time that ended up being the final episode for an actor and a character that had been there for a really long time, like years and years and years on this show. And then I got hired as the guest star who came in and killed him. It was a cop show. And I remember being at the table read. We're reading the script, And like, I knew it was going to happen. Everybody knew it was going to happen. But that guy, it was a tough day. It was tough, and it was emotional, and you could tell. And people were there and supportive and everything. And people knew it was going to happen. But it's still like a odd feeling, And sometimes it's what has to happen for the good of the show, or for their storyline to move on, or what has to happen for the good of the team in terms of sports or whatever. But it's an interesting time. That was the show Major Crimes, by the way, Tuesday night, 10 p.m. TNT.
What?
Go
So
check
like, what was it like when you were reading that? Were you like reading and then like looking up at the reaction?
Well, I mean, for me, I've never been on the show. Like, I'm just coming into like season 6. I'm just like, man, cool. I got this job. Okay, I'm this bad guy. There's gonna be this action scene. Okay, I'm gonna take this out the police chief or whatever. And then I was like, oh wait, that guy might have been on the show for a while. I look him up, hundreds of episodes, whatever it is. And yeah, we're there reading. It's like I'm looking up. They're reading the stage direction. Like, the chief falls. He goes, and I'm like, oh, and everybody's just kind of patting him on the back, and he's just like, it's cool, fine, and all that. But it has to be, I don't know, it's got to be a weird moment. So I can only imagine. Maybe we'll all be so lucky to be killed off of after 8 seasons of a TV show. But anyway,
yeah.
But what about the guys who make the squad though, and who get the most joyous phone call of anyone's life that says, hey, because there's the guys who I think, Sam Darnold's of the world who kind of know they're on. But what about those who might be on the bubble who then got that call today that said, hey, man, or what happens with them? Do they get a call? What about the guys who do make it? What's that process?
Well, I mean, it's a joyous moment, right? They get to call their family and loved ones and be like, I made the 53, right? And it's beautiful, right? Especially undrafted. The odds and probability of that happening are so rare. Like, but it does happen every year, at least one, or a handful around the league too. They come in and they just not to be denied, right? They should have been drafted, but you can only draft it's 32 teams and 7 with compensatory, like 220, 250 guys, maybe something like that. So everyone can't get drafted. And even when you get drafted, I think it's a false sense of security in terms of if you're like 5th, 6th, 7th round pick, right? And that's where you try to tell them as a veteran, just like, hey man, like even when I was a 2nd rounder, I went in there like I was undrafted. Like in my mentality, I was like, no, like nothing's gonna be handed to you, nothing's gonna be given to you. You got to go out there and earn it. And but what's like on the other side of that joyous moment is like a lot of things are still happening around the league, just because it was set today. Tomorrow, there's going to be 1 or 2 guys that got released that, and we have no idea, but the Hawks loved, right? Or they thought, very highly of. And they're like, all right, well, we haven't had the chance to coach them. So like, let's just get them in here. And that means someone else now has to go out. And they may have finally gotten to make that amazing call just 24 hours earlier. They're like, hey, I made it. And then it's like, well, yeah. So it's like, the harsh reality, right?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Even if you get that most joyous of all phone calls, I mean, now the real work begins because you can be cut at any moment. You get, like you just said, I mean, somebody else gets like on a different team today that the Hawks like, so, but you got to put the work in, right? And I mean, now the work really starts. This is, man.
That was the fun part, though.
Well, I was gonna say back to acting. Like I remember sometimes you get that call, you're like, "Hey, man, you got the movie, you got the show, you got the whatever. That's cool." You're like, "Oh, hell yeah!" Jumping up and down. You hang up the phone, you crack open the script. You're like, "Oh shit, I got a lot to do.
I gotta
go back this up now."
Well, yeah, because they only give you a small clip to like deliver or read in the preview, right?
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Now the work begins. If you're just joining us, thanks for being here. We're up to 293, Lofa. That number is just rising and rising. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. The Seahawks released their, almost said schedule, their roster finally, today the 53 man is out and we're going over everything. If you missed us chatting about the entire offense and the entire defense, you'll want to go back here on the video or on the podcast and hear that, because we really went through each position group one by one, really, and gave thoughts on all of it. But to jump back a bit for people who might have just been jumping on or whatever, Lofa, just some thoughts. Derek Hall, the year he's about to have, I mean, the year he had last year, going into this year, everything's looking great. And I mean, just give me some thoughts on him specifically and what you think, or how you think they'll use him.
Send him. Send him. like, I just awesome athlete, rare speed for that size. A ton of weapons in terms of his arsenal, pass rushing, but yeah, he's great going forward. He is athletic enough to drop back, and he always runs the ball. That's that's crucial. But because sometimes you get guys that they get 8-10 sacks and they're like, all right, I made it. I'm just a pass rusher now. Like, I'm gonna save my legs if the ball goes the other way. No, he is always hunting all the way across the field, and that's a clear sign to me of someone that just loves what they're doing, right?
Yeah,
just gets after it. So. And just you can't, even if you max protect, man, and double team a couple of these guys, there's too many of them. Like, when we bring 5 or 6 guys, right, and they got 8 to try to protect, like, we're still getting home. It's still in our favor.
How about this one? Again, we kind of touched on it, but if you're just joining us, the running backs. A lot of people, I mean, kind of surprised with the 3 running backs, and then the fact that it's Holani over Martinez. A lot of people like Martinez in the preseason. Go back on that for me.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Martinez, and I just think for what they showed, the clear choice, Holani, right? But Martinez will not be denied. I remember watching him when he was like a freshman at Oregon State, and I was like, yo, who is that? And then they're like, this 18-year-old, I don't know where he's from, but then he transferred to Miami, and he just, did it again, just kept going. And I was surprised he went as low as he did, 7th round, right? But that's also due to, I mean, there's so many holdovers from 5 and 6 year, like not just redshirt, but the COVID year, right? That saw one guy that was like 25, and then what we used to call him doctor.
Coming out of college with their doctor in football.
It's like, what have you been doing for the last 8 years?
I've just been getting NIL and playing college football. Just getting paid to barely go to class.
But that'll all get worked out, like over time. There are some guys that they had better production and good years their senior year, which technically was like their 6th year senior, 7th year senior, and when you get to the league, it's like I mean that was cool last year down there, but now you're up here and like this is the real deal where everyone's good, and like you can't buy your time with another year of eligibility or something like that. Like you get figured out, right?
Yeah. Pardon me for talking behind the scenes here, guys, but I don't know if they're there anymore. But our producers, can we put the graphics up if they're there? If you guys aren't there, that's fine. But the offensive graphic I wanted to touch on real quick. There it is.
Back.
There it is. Okay, offensive side of the ball, Lofa. Let's go through a few like way too early to predict predictions. Just because we're excited.
What do you got? What do you got?
Okay, let me give you some of my famous questions that I think you think are so random, but I love them. Okay.
Wait,
more
you write these things down?
More rushing touchdowns. No, this is off the top of my head. More rushing touchdowns, okay? Milroe or Holani?
Oof. I mean, did we practice? Did I see us practicing the tush push? Because I mean, that could just be a Milroe special.
Come up with a different name for it if that's what we're gonna do.
Give me a Holani.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Cool. Wide receiver group. Most receiving touchdowns out of this group specifically.
Most receiving. Oof. I'm gonna go Cup.
Oh, yeah.
I think when we get down there in terms of red zone, he's 6'2", still big receiver, and just very crafty, and he'll know how to manipulate the defense, and just he'll still get down there. That's a big target in terms of that receiver group. Other one outside of that, you know, my guy Cody White, because JSN's going to get the majority of the attention, right?
Right.
You're not gonna let him get singled up down there. That's how dangerous he is. But Cody White, 6'3", can jump. I mean, you got Bobo there too. But yeah, give me Cup, the trusted vet, the
When you
salty vet.
Well, when you say Cup, it makes me just instantly think if he's going to have the most receiving touchdowns, that means he's healthy all year and obviously contributing. So sign me up for that because we need him on the field.
I mean, just think about it. If you just get down there and you put Cup, JSN, Bobo 6'5", and Cody White 6'3". I mean, you could even throw just all empty, right? All receivers. You're not going to stop them all.
No. And with Arroyo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget my guy Arroyo, who kind of could be in the wide receiver room anyway.
Yeah, he basically is.
All right. How about let's see. What else from that? Anything else on the offensive side of the ball? Nah, that's good enough. Well, I mean, talk to me about Sam Darnold. I feel like here we are talking about this entire roster. We're not even talking about QB number 1 in his first season for the Seahawks, which might be a good thing, like we talked about earlier. Maybe he flies under the radar a bit, and that'd be just fine with me. But on a Seahawks show, we can't not talk about the starting quarterback and what he is going to mean or what we think he might mean to this team this season. I mean, we all hope he's going to be the franchise guy, be here for the next 10 years, don't we? And what's he got to do in order to have that happen?
Gotta win a lot of games. Yeah, dude, he is everything advertised. Big, strong, athletic. Like, he still has his legs, like, can fly. Like, so I imagine if we do get pressured early and like Kubiak will just find a way to get him out of the pocket, get comfortable. And even on some broken plays, I mean, dude could throw it like 70 yards, no problem. So that's what I'm excited to see, like us take vertical shots, because when you just even threaten with, and we got speed, like Cody White, Horton, just anybody you can throw vertical, it gives the defense problems. The D coordinator is just like, oh shit, like they they went up top, and just you got to back that coverage off. So.
Did you go to training camp physically? Were you there on the field? And did you and Darnold whisper some Trojan talk to each other, do some sort of secret handshake or anything like that? Like, you got to be stoked that this is a USC guy.
Yeah, I'm excited for Sam. I mean, I'll never forget watching him. I think he came in for Slovis when he was a freshman and took them to the Rose Bowl. Like, he balled out, and Slovis was doing well too before the injury. But then him and Saquon basically just duking it out back and forth. It was Penn State, and then we won on a last-second field goal. But the heroics he showed was very impressive for any person in a big game. Never mind an 18-year-old in the Rose Bowl. Like, and so I need to see that Sam come back in turn, because like we were talking about earlier, just if you go to the wrong organization, which, okay, I'm just gonna say it, like with the Jets, quarterbacks have not fared well there. Like, it didn't matter who you got, how early you got him. Zach Wilson, Gino, Sanchez had a couple great years.
Rodgers.
I mean, go down the list, man. And it's it's so to leave there. I think he went to Carolina, and then he went to San Fran, and then Minnesota last year, where he had his resurgence. That toughness is awesome. But just the big moments, I just want to see him just remember that he's that guy.
Yeah.
Because he did. I remember watching it. He did it not by himself, but he stepped up big time in that game against Penn State.
Well, he's got to be a guy too that behind the scenes when he closes his door at night and he's with himself and his family and his friends. Like, he's got to be a guy who's looking for that home, I think. Like you just said, he's kind of bounced around a little, been a backup at places, but always been solid, always been a leader, always like a guy who I feel like people had confidence in, but just wasn't able to find a place that he can kind of like put some roots down and be there for like a decade. I think Seattle feels like it could be that place as long as, like you say, it backs it up on the field with his play, obviously. But
I mean, you talk about sliding doors or whatever they call it. Like if he goes to the NFC Championship, right? If they make it out against LA and then they win the divisional and then he goes to the NFC Championship, Minnesota's got a tough decision in front of them,
Right.
As opposed to the first round exit that happened because you drafted McCarthy first round and then it's all essentially he gets hurt. It's what happened in Philly with Foles and Wentz. Like that offense was like rolling with Wentz. He goes down. Foles comes in and just takes it to a whole nother level. And so that's kind of like, oh shit. Cause like, I mean, they rallying around Foles as as a leader, not just as like, oh, we're that good that, anyone could come in here and play quarterback. It was like they were looking to him, especially in the big games. Right. So, and that's how quick it can happen. Right.
What concerns you with Darnold, if anything?
Just like the beautiful season, right? Unbelievable. And then the last two games in Detroit, for the division, right? The winner gets number 1 seed and loser drops to 6. Like that's tough. And so high stakes. And I think it was 5 red zone trips and it was like 2 field goals. I don't know if there's a turnover there. I can't remember all of it, and then it was just kind of the composure or just got a little antsy in the pocket at times. And, rightfully so. It's a great D line. And then you go play the Rams a week later, who's even more stacked at D line. And just kind of the same thing. Didn't like unravel or anything, but I was like, man, I was hoping to see him like really shine right there. And but hey, you got to get to the big game before you can win it. So like just getting there is like an improvement for us, right? And so I'm excited to see that, and hopefully he takes the next step and becomes a leader of this team because your quarterback's always a leader.
I don't see many holes. Like as I look across all these names, both lists, offense, defense, and like I'm thinking, should I sit here and say like, all right, what for the team as a whole has you concerned, or do you see any holes or missing areas or anything? I don't really see any. My only real question mark would be what Sam Darnold are we going to get, and is he going to be the guy? Can he cement himself as the guy, and that kind of thing? Like if he's solid, I mean, if he comes out lighting it up, if he's as accurate as he can be, that kind of thing, then I think the sky's the limit for this team, especially with that.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, everybody in the chat, because I'm wrong often.
They will.
And I appreciate that. Those are real friends, Brett. Didn't Darnold and Kubiak, did they cross over in San Fran?
No.
Because when he was backing up Purdy, like his first or second, I don't know, but I just know that relationship right there is going to be huge. Them, being on the same page, and it seems like it's gone awesome. So I'm guessing there was probably some chemistry from time spent together before. But either way, Boobs, who's been around and developed QBs, but also knows how to go about it, right? Because that's what great coaches are. They're just great teachers. So that thing's going to be huge. That relationship right there is going to set the kind of foundation for everything going forward.
We got a super chat here, or a super comment, or I'm not really sure what the YouTube lingo is for these, but here's one of these super duper comments from Mike Henderson. Love that you guys are back this year. Do you think they signed Clowney? What happened with Christian Haynes? Lots of reports he was lazy in practice. You want to start with Clowney first of all? Do they sign Clowney? Do they need Clowney?
I like that's how stacked we are. I don't want to mess with this group. And that's saying a lot, knowing that Jadeveon Clowney, like one of the biggest beasts of all time, is out there. If he spent time, he had to have, right, with McDonald in Baltimore.
Could have.
Then,
Should have.
like, if they get him in a workout and him and Clowney have a conversation, and he thinks he's still in shape and ready to go, then yeah, I could absolutely see that, because that's something I've always been impressed with the Ravens. They, especially in the interior or the front seven, they could get a guy who's played on a couple teams or whatever, and they get a lot of high production out of them. Van Noy, guy was a great middle linebacker, and then also rush edge, and now they moved him to full-time rush. And I think in year 10 or 11 last year, he put up 12 sacks, that's a lot of sacks for an older vet, right? So yeah, that was a good question. I don't know what happened with Haynes. I don't like to speculate on someone's effort level, but if that's what's being reported, then I don't have anything to add to that. It's not awesome.
The Clowney thing is interesting because I remember the first time we got him, because don't forget, he's a former Seahawk. All right. The first time we got him, I just thought, oh, here we go. Because that was years ago, Now I read his name and I go, really? I don't know. I mean, I look at the names we got, kind of to your point, if it fits and if McDonald wants him, because in McDonald I trust. So if he wants him, then I'll sign off on it. But with the guys we have there, for some reason, to me, it just feels like on this team right now, the defensive side, I'm good with. I think they're good with it. I feel like they're coming together as that brotherhood and that unit and that just just gang of thieves or whatever they're going to be. I feel like those guys are thick over there with each other and the chemistry that they're building. So I don't want to mess with it if we don't have to.
That is a great point.
Do whatever you want over there, because I don't know what we got really, because I don't think anyone really does. I mean, we got a lot of great players, and we'll see what happens. But I don't know if you have to mess with the defense. I mean, just on paper right now, those names alone, if I was playing Madden and saw those names listed and that was my squad, I'm good to go. Sign me up.
But you raise a great point. Sometimes coaches will think the grass is greener on the other side, right? And they'll bring in an older vet and just it kind of, I don't want to say it fractures the relationship and the trust that was built, but it's okay, the guy that fought with me every day, all day, through camp, through OTAs, is not here. And I mean, it's still incredible honor if any, name vet like Clowney comes over, and he has a lot to offer to the younger guys, but it could cause a little stir in the locker room, just of the trust, right? It's that's everything.
Yeah, totally. And that's because to be truly great, and you can speak to this better than I can, but I know that on the different shows, movies, different things that I've done in my career, when everybody's gelling off camera, when people have chemistry, just because they're cutting it up, chopping it up, chatting, the product on the screen is always better. And so we all know the same thing is true in sports. It's the Gordon Bombay thing. All right. Have fun.
Yeah.
Fun. You're winning, but it's true, isn't it? Right.
It is the truest thing in team sports. You gotta love what you're doing first and foremost, but then you gotta love the people you're going to battle with. Right. And, that 05 team, my rookie year, that was one of the tightest groups in terms of team I've ever been on any part of my life, right? And I was right on the heels of 2 national titles. I mean, it's college, but those are great teams. Everybody's pulling together in the same direction. And if someone steps out of line, we police it ourselves, right? It doesn't get out. Fights or anything. It's gonna happen. It's family, but that shit stays in the lockers, right? It doesn't leave the field or the locker room. And
but that means you're really invested, doesn't it? If you're there in good times or in bad times, even if there's little dust ups or whatever, I mean, it means they care. It means they're passionate. So as a fan, I'm for it. It's fine by me. I don't know if you're watching, but there's that Netflix documentary right now about the Cowboys in the 90s. That was insane. But look at all the winning. Look at what was happening on the field, even though there was insane things off the field. But they were a team. They were a unit. They were a family. They talk about that a lot. And that's where success comes from. So hopefully these can do that too and become that. And I mean, we've seen that with the Seahawks before, right? So yeah, man. I'm just stoked to get it going. Fucks with it. Hey.
Fucks with it.
Fucks with it. 42 Jacoby. People listening on the audio only podcast are like, why did Brett just yell out fucks with it? Because
we does. On the screen. We does. That's our dog.
Fucks with a PH. Yo, welcome back. Yeah, thanks for being here. This feels really good to just be back with everybody. It feels good to be back at my little corner here. It just feels like home. I love chatting Seahawks football with you guys. And I mean, I can't say it again. Like, I couldn't be more excited for this season to kick off and get underway. And I think the schedule makers, I don't know if they did us a favor or what in terms of the football, but in terms of the fans, how could you not be more excited than kicking off the season against your most hated rival in those Santa Clara 40 whiners?
Oh, absolutely. The only thing I didn't like about open up a division rival is then sometimes you don't play them for a long time. And I always like playing them in 2 or 3 week increments. Like, okay, home and away here, like real quick. That way they don't have a lot of time to change the plan, right? like that's, I mean, just strategically how I always thought. It was like, they're going to stay pretty much with what worked. They might have a new wrinkle in here or there, but there hasn't been enough time for much to change, right? And so if you were kicking their ass the first time, it was always pretty fun to like meet them again a couple weeks later, even though they're going to be pissed off because they didn't forget what just happened. But game plan's not going to change much.
We did some of these for the offense. Let's do some defensive random questions or this or that or pick one or whatever you want to call them. Here, let's.
With a spoon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Most picks. I want it to be Witherspoon. However, turnover statistics not there last year, so you could pick anyone here. Who you got?
They weren't there because he played like 6 positions. Dude was like a rush end. He was a corner. He was a slot. He was nickel linebacker inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, you got to give a little grace there but we do need to see some numbers there. I know what you're saying. So I am going to go. Every time I look at a Mike McDonald's defense, the pattern I see is the safeties get a lot of action, as they call it. So even Worry, Kobe Bryant, Love's very consistent.
Yep.
But I think this is the year that Kobe Bryant takes a big leap. He was on it. It was yours?
I was gonna take him. Yeah, that's all right. We can match. It's all right.
Oh, all right. Well,
it's all right. Especially with a stud like Kobe. He's been on the show, by the way, former guest of the show.
Yeah.
You guys can go back on the YouTube channel and find our conversation with him from last year. No, I think he's a ball hawk. He's always around the ball. I think it could be him.
Yeah.
Give me most sacks.
Ooh. Damn.
I know.
It's hard to go against the big cat, right?
Okay.
But I feel like they're going to give him more attention this year with how great he played last year.
True.
It's a big year for Mafe.
I was going to say, he's there.
I'm going Hall.
Out of left field. I like it.
All right.
Good. I like it. Hall would be one I would take too. Yeah, they're going to send him a lot. Oh, man. It's hard to argue with that. Murphy, he didn't get a lot, though. I don't know.
He got a half.
Yeah, he's got to up that production there.
Not even, yeah. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Hey, how about Chenna? We need Chenna for the whole season. We need we need 10 games at least. 12 games at least. He's got to stay healthy. I mean,
just bring him back slowly, right? Because I mean, he's just such a savage that when they say 6 weeks, 8 weeks, he's like, I'm back in 2. And I know about that life. I did that too. Did not work well for me. So let's take care of Chenna, right? And save him from himself.
Well, we need him because, I mean, all these names we're talking about, they've got depth right now. You got to have them in there to have that depth. So we need everyone to stay healthy. Shout out to Ram Slam putting in a super comment there. The boys are back. How was your off season? Lol.
Sounded like a pirate there.
How was your off season?
Oh, it was awfully nice. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, mine was good. It was fine. I didn't do too much, to be flat honest. I had a road trip up to Oregon and back. Did some camping along the way. Took the kids across the Golden Gate Bridge. That was fun.
Yeah, I'm just so focused on ball right now that I forgot. Yeah, I went to Alaska. I did a bunch of shit too. That was fun. We'll get to that another time though. I'm just thinking about football right now.
My man doesn't like talking about himself. He only knows one thing, everybody.
I just totally forgot. Yeah, exactly. I literally, once you said that, I remembered. I actually.
Here's a name. Let me give you a name we've barely even mentioned. Okay. And it's got to be one of the first times in his entire life that he'd be going into a football season barely getting mentioned. DeMarcus Lawrence. Is that a name you're interested in for this season?
Every season, right? I know he came off injury, right? But if he's even 60, 70% of what he was just 2 years ago, that's still a monster and someone that you gotta account for.
Yes.
So we're stacked.
Veteran
Absolutely
presence. Stacked. Oh, yeah. No, I think this whole team's going to eat, dude, to borrow a line from the kids. This team's going to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nom.
What do you want to do? You want to keep sitting here chatting? You want to wrap this thing up? You got places to be? I mean, we could talk all day, but truthfully, guys, we're going to be doing this every week of the season, just like last year. We're going live after every single game. So instead of staying up till midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. with us this season, we're going to be starting at 4 p.m. after the Seahawks are over. So if they would have played at 10 a.m., you'll just wait a little bit. Then we'll be on after all the football of the day.
Set your reminders.
They play most of their games at 1, so we'll be on right after the game. If they happen to play on a Monday or a Thursday or a Sunday night, then we'll still come on after the Seahawk game. So if they're on a Monday night, we'll come on after the Seahawk game of that week. Everybody got that? That's the schedule for all day this season. We'll also continue to have our player interviews, we believe. We're in touch with the Seahawks, and they're going to start sending us people hopefully soon. And so I'll have a bunch of random questions for actual Seahawk players, and we'll put those videos up. But we got a lot of big plans for this year for all day. It starts with you guys being here, so we can't thank you enough for joining, for filling up the comments, for filling up the questions. I mean, to be honest, we got on the phone, right, with everybody, and we were like, are we doing it this year? We're like, they want it, right? To have you guys here and have your support and know that you guys wanted us back just feels really good. So appreciate that from us to you. You got anything before we get out of here?
No, man. I'm excited. I missed you all. And I miss doing this. I love talking football, and love you all.
Yeah, cool.
It's going to be fun.
We'll see you guys after the game week 1. Go Hawks.